Here we are again. Manchester United have not won a game. We have drawn at Sociedad, which admittedly is a lot better than I thought we would do. Sociedad were poor. And I can't even say like, oh, United just stuck it on them. And we really rocked them. We didn't. We played well. Or at least we created chances, and we created chances that we should have done better with as well. And we created openings we should have done better with as well. Delot is getting absolutely crucified for not passing it to Højlund, and rightly so. In all honesty, there's no way I'm defending him not doing that. It's interesting how people are really hyper focusing on that and not seeing that Garnacho does that 5 times a game and hasn't had half the stick that Delot's had for doing that. And like I said, I'm not defending Delot doing it. He absolutely should have passed it him. And also, that doesn't take away from how poor Højlund is. Half of me thought, he's probably not passed it him because he thought he won't fucking do anything with it. Which isn't the right thing to do. He's supposed to just pass him the ball and we'll figure it out. United threw that away, in my opinion. I don't know why. Was it fatigue? Was 2 hours of football on the weekend catching up with basically the same 11? Dorgu obviously didn't feature, but you've just left Casemiro out there. There was a big reluctance to make subs, and okay, the bench was a shocking bench. There was options to take more players, not loads more. I know like the likes of Cheeto and that weren't registered, but like there was options to take some other players. You see Collier come on. Collier looked bright towards the back end of that when he came on, injected a little bit of energy, but it felt like United threw it away, whether that was through fatigue, whether that was through mentality, whether that was through anything else. But it felt to me like United threw an opportunity of a win and a little bit of positivity away. Got away with Zubimendi not featuring with that, supposedly was ill. Now, Zubimendi not featuring, possibly why Sociedad looked so toothless, because they genuinely looked toothless. For an hour, they didn't create anything. Now, they started to have some shots. They didn't get, I think the first shot on target was the penalty. But they started to get some shots about 5 minutes or so before the penalty. They started to create some chances. But then from the penalty going in, United completely unplugged and just allowed Sociedad into a game. And they probably had the opportunities to win it in the last 10 minutes. Because it was almost not quite relentless and it wasn't fully backs to the wall, just Alamo style. But they was getting opportunities. Now that suggests to me weak mentality. Was it a penalty? Fucking probably. But I saw this post earlier. United conceding penalties to calls they don't get. And that might sum it up. Do I think it was a penalty? Probably. Would we have got it if it was one? Probably not. That sums it up, doesn't it? You look at the one Liverpool didn't have against them last night and you go, right, well, can anyone explain to me, genuinely, why it was and why it wasn't? For them, and, do you know what I mean? Like, no, you don't even bother. Liverpool just get those things, don't they? But it feels like mentally United are weak. The camera was very focused on Bruno Fernandes following the penalty going in, waiting for the kickoff. And you're looking at him and you're going, I felt he was going to over-try after that. It didn't really happen. It just, like, United just... Do you know when we kicked off, it was like we didn't. It was like the game just kind of happened around us. We did nothing to influence the game in the slightest in that last 10 minutes. And it's frustrating because you're thinking, all right, I went into this and it was a better result than I thought. We are in the tie. But we're actually worse at Old Trafford. And chatting to a couple of people on Twitter, and a couple of people are saying, I get the impression that you're not having Amorim. It isn't that I'm not having Amorim. It's that there's currently zero evidence to suggest that he's making adjustments and improving things at the moment. Do I think he needs backing? Absolutely. Do I want to see him backed? Absolutely. Do I think he's going to get backed? No. I've seen people saying that I look a bit pissy talking about United at the moment. I'm fucking supposed to, right? I'm not someone who revels in United losing. I'm a United fan. All I want is United to do well. And I'm fucking annoyed when we don't. Like, what's so difficult to understand about that? Now, I'm not going to lose my head. I'm going to try and explain how I feel, and I'm going to try and explain why things happen the way they happen, because that's how I like to create the content that I create. And I assume that's why you guys tune in. I assume that's why it's only United fans that tune in for me, apart from random occasional weirdos. But I haven't ever broke through into the cultural barrier like Arsenal Fan TV, and nor would I want to. People really don't understand that. There's quality in terms of views. Some numbers are vanity numbers. I would rather be able to go to the match and have people chat to me at the match without people just fucking shouting abuse at me, the way people on Arsenal Fan TV get, and the way some other people get when they go to Old Trafford and that. I don't get that. I get chatted to, and that's how I want it to be. And I want my audience to be you guys, the generally level-headed, the 30 to 40-year-old type people, the late 20 type people. I don't make content for kids. If you do, fucking crack on. It ain't me, right? When I'm analysing the game, I try and do it in a level-headed manner. And if I'm annoyed, I'm annoyed. You know, me being slightly fucking grumpy is never going to break through and become a cultural fucking meme, because I'm not a pair of absolute lunatics like Arsenal Fan TV cast together to create drama. I'm not interested in that. If anything, I can't even be asked making these videos when United lose. I revel in United being fucking successful. This is hard work. I spoke about it at length last week. And do you know what? I started putting together a bit of a script on how to fix United. And I started recording the content for it. Now, my initial idea was to make it in one video. And there's 7 pieces to this video. Hang on, let me pull them up. So the 7 pieces to this video are as follows. 1, the financial reality. 2, the managerial situation. 3, the squad breakdown, who stays, who goes. 4, the squad rebuild and a bit of a roadmap for the next 10 years. 5, the fan disconnect and ownership issues. 6, Old Trafford. 7, long-term competitiveness and a Premier League landscape. 7 items there, right? I started recording the first item. It took 25 minutes. Right, that's a long YouTube video. I started recording the second one. That was 25 minutes. This is going to be a fucking hour and 40 or an hour and 45 worth of content. Shit. Did not intend it to be that long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into chapters. And I'm going to post one a day for a week. That's the sort of shit that I like to do. The research for it, about 15 to 20,000 fucking words, right? That's what I do. Am I pissed off? Yes. I'm fucking annoyed. I'm annoyed at the repetition of the same mistakes and seemingly how boring stuff is. Even if we play him well, it's still fucking boring. All right, and today wasn't boring. Certainly wasn't anywhere near as boring as it has been. But did anyone play well? Anyone? Do you know what I mean? Give me something to hold on to. Do I think he's the right man? I don't know. I did before he came. But the geezer's on 25 games and he's won 10. Which means 15 of the 25 games that he's been in charge for, we didn't win. This is cruising towards Ralf Rangnick sort of numbers, and Semi could forgive Ralf Rangnick for some of those numbers because the players knew he wasn't sticking around. He wasn't going to be the long-term guy. With him, with Amorim, he is the long-term guy. So why are they not responding to him? He's got to find a way to be a bit more pragmatic. He's got to find a way to get results. He ain't going to get a fucking brand new squad come June. He just isn't. He's going to be starting pre-season in July. He will not have anything like a perfect squad. So what's the excuse going to be then? Is it going to be, oh, we haven't got the perfect squad, so I'm still going to try and play this only way that I know how to play? Or is he going to have to adapt and start winning some games? Because I don't disagree with his principles of play. Rapid transitions, high pressing, aggressive, attacking play with 5 across the front line, you can do that. But there's other areas of the game that can improve. You might have to put an extra man in midfield. It kind of looked like that a little bit towards the end of the game with Bruno, Erik and Casemiro. Kind of looked a little bit more like a 3-5-2 rather than the 3-4-3 that he supposedly wants to play. Is that adaptation? It's not turning your back on your philosophy and principles. But if that's the sort of thing that you have to do to fucking stay in the job to be able to get close to building your team, maybe that's what you've got to do. This isn't going to be a quick fix, and it certainly ain't going to be fucking perfect and ready to go. Okay, everything's good to go now. Crack on. Go win a league next year. If you think that, you are fucking twisted. It ain't going to be that. It ain't going to be that. Anyway, I will do 5 things tomorrow, and I will do the player ratings tomorrow. And I might also release part 1 of how to fix Manchester United. Like I said, it's in depth. So if you're a fucking hyper dickhead who just wants like headlines and fucking social media style content, don't fucking watch it. It ain't for you. If you've got a brain and you're not fucking that needs to just fucking be playing on 3 phones at once, but you've actually got the intelligence to be able to sit down and listen to something that is a bit more long-winded, by all means, come and join in with the rest of the adults tomorrow. Otherwise, don't lick the plugs. I'll see you in a bit. Laters.